Good day and welcome to another session where we talk about our clean future with the hottest EV in town, NIO and Tesla. Before we start, please take a minute to subscribe to my channel. Now that's out of the way, let's begin. Yesterday I was catching up on some news and came across an interesting clip. Let's have a look here.
The electric vehicle sector is one of the hottest parts of this market, and it's not just Tesla. Take a look at some of these stock moves. Chinese automakers Li Auto and XPeng have doubled since their IPOs, while battery maker QuantumScape is up about 440%. But those stocks have nothing on NIO. That stock is up more than 1,600% just in the last year. That makes NIO worth nearly as much as Ford and General Motors combined. Joining us right now to talk about the EV sector and if what we're seeing is a bubble is Gordon Johnson. He's the founder and CEO of GLJ Research, and Gene Munster, who's the founder and managing partner at Loop Ventures.
I think a great textbook example, and I think an indicator about how to think about the EV market is think about what happened in Amazon. It went from $3 to $90, from 97 to 2000, and then it blew up and went to $7. Today, of course, it's $3,100. Perfect.
Now, I know what you're thinking. Are we in an EV bubble? Are the stocks overvalued? I do think that the stocks are overvalued, but, and this is a big fat but, what stock isn't? Should Amazon be really selling for $3,000 plus a share? Should Alphabet be selling for $2,000 plus a share? Of course not. They're grossly overvalued. In saying that, there's a lot of confidence in the market about the EV and the future is only bright.
But what do you think longer term for the EV market overall?
I think the EV market is a massive bubble. Let's take Tesla. So if you look at Europe, right, we have sales for this year. Europe was the biggest EV market, Europe, US, China. Listen, if you look at the BEV market, it's only 1.8% of EV sales, despite, and that's from 0.47% in 2009, despite billions of dollars in incentives. And if you take a step back and look at NIO, this is kind of crazy. NIO's stock is trading at a market cap of roughly $98 billion, above VW. NIO sold 47,000 cars. VW is estimated to sell around 10 million cars, roughly 175,000 EVs.
Okay, so this interesting gentleman has said that Volkswagen has sold 10 million cars in the last year. Okay, fair enough, versus NIO that has sold 47,000 cars in 2020. He fails to mention that VW was founded in 1937 and NIO was only founded in 2014.
And the other thing with NIO is, and you got to look at the details here. You can't just say people being in the stock for 3 years. NIO is effectively promising people a free battery if they buy their car. And that's roughly 30% of the cost of the total car. So if you look at the actual margins of this company, you're talking about margins that are going to be grossly negative, yet analysts are saying buy this stock for 3 years.
NIO gives batteries literally for free. Either this is the biggest fake news of the year or grossly misinterpreted. NIO's whole business model is based on subscription of their batteries. Recently, they showcased their impressive 150 kilowatt-hour solid-state batteries. The flexible battery option will give the customers option to choose the range best suited for their needs. It is also beneficial for NIO because the range and power will determine how many times a battery will need to be recharged and, as a result, determine how many months subscription NIO will need to recoup its costs.
For 3 years. We think people are being misled. And we think as the competition comes in, we think guys like Tesla and NIO, who can't match the manufacturing prowess of the VWs and GMs, are going to literally get crushed.
One could even say that Volkswagen and GM are a dying breed of dinosaurs, waiting for an EV asteroid to hit them.
And we think that, like you said, what's driving this market really is you see a lot of retail traders trading options that shouldn't be. You sign up to a Robinhood account, you put in $2,000, you can trade options on margin. You're talking about 11 times leverage on an option we looked at just last week. So if a guy puts in $1, the guy writing that option has to buy $11. That's driving the stock market. That's enabled by the Fed. When the Fed cuts rates and they stop all this money printing into the market, we think you're going to see a number of bubbles explode, including the EV bubble.
The faith in NIO and Tesla is not based on thin air. Let's take a look at some hard facts. In 2020, 54% of the cars sold were electric vehicles, and this trend will only continue to rise as majority of the countries will ban fossil fuel cars by 2030 onwards. New markets. Tesla has expanded its presence drastically, and the company's sales expansion will only grow via new markets such as India, South America, and beyond. Only yesterday, Tesla registered in India, indicating its plans to enter one of the fastest growing clean energy markets. Autonomous driving. Many predict this is a not so distant future of driving. This is another huge disruption for the whole autonomous game, where the owners of Tesla and NIO will be able to earn up to $30,000 by using their cars as robotaxis to ferry around passengers in the city. A lucrative and profitable business that could deliver $30 billion in profit margin if Tesla rapidly scales to have a fleet of 1 million robotaxi fleet. Good news is on the horizon for NIO though. China plans to have 25% of its cars as EVs by 2025. In their 2020 annual meeting, the Chinese government has levied subsidies on their battery swap by up to $3,500 for customers with driving range of around 300 kilometers. But let's hold on a minute and talk about these dirty oil companies. They see their doom coming, and that's why they're moving away from the oil business to get into the future. Electrification. Electrification of cars is imminent. We need only to look outside and see how many electric cars have been increasing year over year. All in all, the EV wave is here to stay and rule no matter what. I see the future only bright and on the rise for companies like Tesla, NIO, and XPeng. If you like this video, then subscribe. Maybe even a like. Throw in a comment somewhere. I hope you have a successful day.